Hi Libra, and welcome to your November 2019 general reading. So, what's going to happen? There won't be any relationship readings this month. I've just had a bereavement, and I might not be doing weeklies. So I'll do the monthlies, and I'll do a monthly update. So that's the plan for the month until things move forward. Okay, so give me one card for the lovely Libra before I do the rest of your reading. So you got the Fates card. The Fates is always this sense of sometimes a feeling that there's things in your life that are out of your control. Okay, so it's very much like the serenity prayer. Things that you can control and things that you can't, and learning the difference between the both of them. I always quite like it when the Fates card shows up because it always gives me a sense of destiny, purpose, destiny, these larger forces that are in charge of our life. So very interesting. And if you look at the card, she is receiving. Look, there's all these sort of gifts pouring down on her. So it's going to be quite an interesting reading, I think, Libra. To tell you the truth, it's always an interesting dynamic when that card shows up. So can you give me very clear cards for Libra for the month ahead? I think they're ready. I didn't need to do 2 shuffles. So the 7 of Cups behind you with the 8 of Cups. So an awful lot of water, a lot of emotions. 7 of Cups tends to be very blurred lines, a little bit of confusion. And the 8 of Cups is a searching card. So 7 and 8s are about personal mastery, and the 8s can quite often have a feeling about them, not of being stuck, but sometimes Libra a feeling that something's a little bit missing, which isn't a negative, because it's when we search for what's missing that we find that the gems, the jewels. Okay, so give me a minute. Now what you want is the Queen of Wands. This might be a person, or it might be about your own energy. The Queen of Wands rises. She quite often shows up maybe after a period of being quite oppressed, feeling very held down, lacking energy. So the Queen of Wands emerges from the flames. Very, very beautiful energy. The gift is the Page of Cups. Very, very beautiful gift. The challenge is the Ace of Cups. Oh boy, Libra. Okay, so there's clearly, this is definitely about your emotions. So who's showing up in your relationship? So you've got the Death card. Now don't be frightened of the Death card. Can I just move the camera so you can see the cards a bit more clearly? The Death card is a Scorpio. It is about change. It's about transition. And so's the 8 of Cups. Some of you have definitely got a new relationship starting. And maybe through this new relationship, they might be letting go of an old one, or some relationship that you're in, or someone in your life is going through this energy. Money and work, you get the Emperor. I am and I will. Very much your opposite sign. Remember the law of polarity. Libra is always here to balance out Aries, which means we don't spend all our time thinking about our relationships. We spend a lot of our time on our life's purpose. Aries, being an individual, setting your own sense of destiny and your own sense of purpose. Knight of Wands at a soul level. So there's a lot of fire, an awful lot of water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 water cards so far. The outcome, 6 of Swords. So still in some sort of transition. So what's the Six of Swords about? Oh, very beautiful. So you're transiting to the Empress. So I need to move everything so you can see all the cards. Guys, giving you my first reading today. Awful lot of water. 2 fire, 1 air, and 1 earth, because the Empress rules Taurus, she rules the earth signs. So there's definitely a little bit of vagueness and confusion behind you about the way forward. Remember, the Eight of Cups is a questing card. A lot of readers see it as negative, but I don't particularly see it as a negative card, because if we don't go within, we go without. So sometimes the Eight of Cups is a bit turning your back on the external and doing a little bit of inner work. So what you want is this beautiful Queen of Wands. Again, sometime with the Ace of Wands, oh my gosh, Libra. So you're really looking for the fire, passion, energy, enthusiasm, very much dynamic expression. And I cannot help feeling this is obviously relationships, but the fire element is also in your money and work and your sense of soul's energy. So fire goes forward, it expresses itself, it's very dynamic, and it creates new pathways for itself. So this is very, very, very clear. But also, Libra, what you're looking for is this very, very passionate life. Who wants to live a life without passion? And passion only isn't found in the typical things of life. Passion is about enthusiasm. It's about a sense of destiny, right? And that is definitely showing up a lot for you in your... So your money and work is about what you do with your life, the time, how you spend your time. So there's definitely a lot of energy about wanting to break through new pathways. Okay, so the gift is the beautiful Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is one of my favourite cards. It does tend to talk about new relationships, but the challenge is already the Ace of Cups. I have to say, Libra, now don't shout at me, but when the Ace of Cups shows up as a challenge, it really is quite often shows being in quite a challenging set of circumstances regarding emotions. It can be like being torn between two people, being in love with someone who you can't quite have yet because the Death card is showing up, which means there's a huge transformative energy taking place in your relationships. Now, these are interesting cards because the gift and the challenge are sort of the same thing. Because the Page is a card that carries the Ace of Cups, and he begins to implement this potential love. But it's also the challenge. I'm going to have a card that connects these two. Oh, no, you're absolutely going to crack up. You now got the Knight of Cups. So this is obviously potentially some either new love with the Ace of Cups, or a love that's been around for a little while, a long time, but getting it moving and sort of progressing it through the steps is a challenge, because the Page follows the Ace and the Knight follows the Page. So these are both the challenge and the gift. And doing these general readings, it's only really the person watching that totally understands why this is a challenge. Sometimes it's a bit distance. Sometimes it's one of the people are quite shy. I'll try and find out why this is a challenge. Why is this such a challenge for Libra? Okay, you get the Five of Wands, which is about head and heart, going in separate directions. I'm going to carry on and I'll see if I can dig a little bit more, But when the gift and the challenge are the same thing, it only really, really means one thing. That there's this sort of love, definitely love with the Ace of Cups, definitely some sort of new beginning, but it's got some sort of challenge with it, and I'll find out why. The Death card is showing up in your relationship, so this is definitely Scorpio, but it can be some sort of change, some sort of letting go, some sort of, because the Death card, I've seen the Death card show up when two people get married, so it's not always one thing, because Scorpio rules merging, it rules union, and it sort of rules intimacy, and it's what's showing up in your relationships. Tell me more about the Death card, please, for Libra and their relationships. You get the Chariot. There's some sort of huge transition going on here, because the Chariot is also a transition card, because it's a vehicle and it's an energy that takes our life from one stage to another. Can I carry on? Then I need to find a way to clarify as much as possible the relationship dynamic. The Emperor is in your money and work. So Emperor is Aries card. It's fire. It's about direction. The affirmation for the Emperor is I am and I will. Okay? So very much focusing, and because what you want is the Queen of Wands and the Ace of Wands, there's a feeling of some sort of initiation and direction around your finances that you're both looking for. And then the King of Wands comes up. Oh my God, what are you up to? All this fire. And you know what, Libra? It's like there's something that really, really, really wants to break through here. Because look at your soul position, you've got the Knight of Wands. So fire, fire, fire. Now I'm going to finish the reading, then I'm going to play around with the cards a little bit. So the end of it, you've got the Six of Swords, which is still a transition card, okay? Don't worry, this is a huge month for you. But you begin and end in quite similar energies. They're both energies of transition, okay? Now I think that's going to be the case. I've done 2 readings so far for an awful lot of people, and it's sort of happening because most Libras know that we're really, really heading into a brand new chapter in all of our lives, okay? And this seems to be the energy that's showing up, that you're not where you were, but you're not fully rooted in where you want to be, which is very interesting because the Empress is the outcome. So when I said, where's the Six of Swords going? It was going towards the Empress. So the Empress rules Taurus. So she rules the home, she rules family, very much everything you can touch and you can see and you can feel. And this is where you're heading to. And I can definitely see this energy around money and work and wanting to manifest and have very much stronger foundations. So it's all extremely, extremely beautiful about having this fire energy. And a lot of the fire is going towards new directions, particularly around the Empress, which definitely rules abundance, new beginnings, the home, things like that. But there's something very, very confusing in your relationship dynamics. So if you don't mind, I'm going to try and play around with what's going on here. Because I'm not doing relationship readings, as you know. I don't know why relationship readings take an awful lot of energy, and I just don't have it. So what's What's Libra dealing with in their relationships? What's the energy that's all this sort of a little bit of a confusing pattern? So there's definitely, aces all represent the very passionate energies. So there's an awful lot of passion here, but there's some sort of challenge in this relationship. So you're the one who's the Seven of Cups, so you're a bit confused. You might have one more choice. They're perceiving you as the Queen of Wands, okay, which is what you most want. There's an awful lot of passion and attraction here, chemistry. But you seem to be a little bit confused. So why are you confused, Libra? Because of the King of Wands. This is so much chemistry. This is so hot, this dynamic going on here. But Libra, you seem to be a little bit confused about choices and about the way forward. Now, what I say to people is confusion is part of a process. So after confusion comes clarity. It's like after grief comes new beginnings. It's a cycle, and you need to allow clarity to come. And it's a gift, like the Ace of Swords is a gift. Can you tell me more why Libra is going through the Seven of Cups energy? Why are they so confused? One card. Okay, so you're getting the World card. So the World card talks about a whole cycle in your life coming to an end. Okay, it's very much the Mastery card. It's also the card of Saturn, okay, which is about personal mastery. It's almost that Libra, your power this month lies in the direction of your finances and your life direction. There's obviously a relationship around this tremendous chemistry. I mean, tremendous chemistry. But some of you are in the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups is like Neptune. It's like being in fog. Okay? Not quite sure about choices, about what you want. And Seven of Cups sometimes is this relationship going anywhere? So maybe that's what your confusion about. And some of you might be torn between two people. So I think for some of you, when I seen that Ace coming up, and I thought the Ace of Cups is a challenge, is a very, very tough challenge, because it's this feeling of pure, almost very divine love. And I think that's what's going on for some of you. Oh, Libra, Libra, Libra. I wish I was doing relationship readings just for you, but I literally can't. Can you give me a little bit more guidance for Libra, please? Okay, you got Treasure Island. X marks the spot. But what's so interesting is Treasure Island comes after being, you know, that if you're in fog and then suddenly you hit this pot of gold, that seems to be some sort of huge process you're going through, Libra, here. I'm going to have one more guidance card for you. Advice. Give one advice card for Libra, please. You get the Eight of Wands. Communication. Fire. Might be about travel. Very, very expansive card. So one more card about why Libra is so confused. Choices. Lover's card. Direction. Decisions to be made. The Lover's card used to be called choices, part of the fool's journey, and we're walking down the road, and the choice we make is between going down the same worn out path or following our true heart. As the story goes, the fool follows his heart and he immediately becomes enlightened. So there's something to do with truth and the heart going on here, Libra. And I feel that I'm not giving you a whole and complete reading, but I probably have to know individual situations. And I do know quite a lot of Libra's individual situations. But there's something between following your heart here, your true heart, or continually going down the same old worn out road that might not just be bringing you that 10 of Cups that you're looking for. Okay, Libra, I wasn't really expecting that reading. Thank you for everyone who emailed me, by the way, and sent me messages. I really wouldn't be here without you. And you know who you are. Love you lots. Bye.